All right, welcome to the Young Turks. I'm your host, Cenk. I understand that while I was away, there was a bit of a change in the Weiner story. We've got a change in the Weiner story. All right, so let's start from the beginning. I've got a lot of new details for you today. And then later in the program, we're going to get some poll numbers. Bad for Obama, good for Romney. Not just one poll, several different polls that are relevant to the presidential race. And then I've got a home foreclosure story that takes an unbelievable turn, which I love. You're going to love that story, okay? So we got a lot coming up on this show. So let's start, of course, with Congressman Weiner. So I said that Congressman Weiner had been hacked. I was pretty sure of it, and I came out guns blazing, and I based on several things. First of all, I read a Reuters article that said that the picture had come from a totally different batch on YFrog than where Weiner sends normally his pictures that he tweets out. Okay, I thought that was pretty good evidence. Secondly, the source for this news story in the beginning was Andrew Breitbart. Previously, he had never been right. So is it possible that somebody gets a story right for the first time in their life? It turns out it is possible. Okay, but when he had every other story wrong, you can see why you'd be a little skeptical about the source. And then third of all, I thought Congressman Weiner is very technically savvy. Now, a guy who's technically savvy is not going to tweet things in public. What kind of an idiot would do that? Well, it turns out that I was wrong on several counts. First of all, Congressman Weiner was that stupid. Turns out sources that almost never get anything right from time to time can get something right. In that case, Breitbart. And third of all, once you get into the technical details, there was a lot of different ways that he could have been hacked, but it turns out he was not hacked. Okay, so by the way, how did he screw up? Well, he screwed up the direct messaging on Twitter. Apparently, you're supposed to do a D, and he did an @ sign instead, and then next thing you know, well, lo and behold, that message of his Johnson had gone out in public, and he was trying to get it back, and it was way too late. And obviously, you guys all know he came out and apologized, in a teary apology yesterday, saying, oh my God, I'd been doing this over and over again. So I would like to officially say,
I regret it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was just my mistake and my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay, so that was my bad, my mistake, and I regret it. Hey, look, I blew that call. I trusted a politician. That's a cardinal mistake I should never do. But it wasn't based on trust. It wasn't like, oh, I love Weiner, so he's got to be right. It's for the reasons that I just explained, but I got it wrong, okay? So you got to keep it real on that. All right, now, we realize that Congressman Weiner, it turns out, has many, many more pictures and dirty texts that he sent out. And apparently Breitbart says that he has a full Johnson shot, naked. And Breitbart's such an ass. He comes out and he's like, oh, I have it. And if he challenges anything else I say, I'll put it out there. Well, that's blackmail, okay? And what are you trying to prove? Everybody already knows what he did was wrong, right? He's already confessed to it. And what are you going to be like, ha, here's this naked picture of his penis, ha, but only if he says something bad against me, in which case I'll blackmail him with it. Okay, whatever. I mean, the guy's not a journalist, so you know how it goes. But at the same time, hey, look, as I've said now 2 or 3 times, credit where credit is due. He was right on this story, okay? And so what's next? Should Weiner go? That's the question, right? Me, I say no. I will lose, okay? Because Washington loves a sex story. They're like, oh my God, Breitbart has a naked penis picture. Oh, this is so great. And, there's new women coming out. There's a blackjack dealer in Las Vegas. There's a single mom in Texas. And they're all coming out. And they all, of course, he's famous. They all save the messages. So it's one after another after another. And every news program is going to show every one of those things. So can he survive? In Washington, you can torture people, you can start illegal wars, you can get hundreds of thousands of people killed. Nobody gives a damn. You're not going to get prosecuted, you're not going to lose your job over that. It's not even going to be a scandal. But oh my God, if you sent a dirty text, you're done for, right? So he's in a world of trouble. There's new polls out in New York. They're split. One of them has him still holding on to his job and people saying it's okay. Another one says it's really close, but by a small majority saying he's got to go. But we're just at the beginning of the scandal, right? And now the second part of that scandal is, did he use any public resources? Now look, if he broke laws, he's in a much bigger trouble. So people say, one was the actual, cheating on his wife, etc. They say, well, I guess technically that, that has nothing to do with his job. But tut, we are very angry with him. And it's like when your girlfriend catches you cheating and then you lie to her and she says, it wasn't that you cheated on me, it's that you lied to me. Nonsense, it was that you cheated on her, right? So now the second part of that is people saying, hey, Weiner lied to us. Look, you know who got lied to the most? Me. So I went out there and said, I think he was hacked. So I look the worst out of this, right? Am I mad at Weiner over it? No. Here's what happens if you get caught in a sex situation. Whether you're a famous person, a politician, or you're a regular Joe. You lie. You lie for as long as you possibly can until you get caught. That's how it works. Okay? It's not like if, your girlfriend catches you and says, oh, I saw some lipstick on your shirt. When's the last time that happened? 1955? Anyway, right? You go, oh, honey, no, of course not. What are you talking about? That was something else. That was the sushi or something, or ketchup I spilled, whatever. And you lie and you lie and you lie until you either get away with it or you get stone cold busted. That's rule number one in being a man. So, on that, Weiner, not guilty. Okay, not in my book. And, Bill Clinton lied about having sex. Yeah, what was he going to do? Oh, yeah, by the way, I screwed the intern. I'd like to tell the whole country I just did it the other night. No, of course he's going to lie about it. All right, now problem number 3 for Weiner is, okay, might have used public resources. So apparently, one of the women claims that when they were doing the phone sex business, she called back on the same number, found out it was the House line, House of Representatives. Okay? So, he used a government phone. He soiled the government phone with his dirty, dirty talk. Okay. Look, it's not that I just swear to you that if it was a Republican, I wouldn't care. I've said it in the past, okay? Now, there is a line, but I don't think using the phone or the computer, he sent dirty messages maybe over the computer, and they think if they get him on that, he's totally toast, right? I don't care, okay? If you rob the American taxpayer, I care, right? You send a dirty text over your government computer, that's because you were horny at work. I don't care, right? Now, there's one part that I do care a little bit about, which is incredibly stupid of him and is a real problem. When going to cover this up, he told one of the girls, the porn star that apparently he was sending messages to back and forth, that, hey, I can get you some PR help. Now, it turns out if you get the PR help from your campaign, it's legal. If you get it from your public staff that the United States taxpayer pays for, it is not legal. Okay, if hey, that's taxpayer money, then I start to care, okay? Then you got a real issue, in my opinion, right? But I don't think that anybody's going to even go that deep. Everybody just keeps yelling, Weiner, 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 pants on fire, right? So let's see how long he can last. But only Republicans survive sex scandals because they just go, so what? What are you going to do about it? Vitter comes out and goes, yeah, I slept with a hooker. Yeah, D.C. Madam, who cares? And he comes back in, Republicans give him a standing ovation over it, right? Democrats, well, you know why they don't survive? They throw themselves under a bus. Either they do it immediately, they're like, oh my God, here I go, boom, and they throw well, now Weiner hasn't done that yet, I think to his credit, most people think to his discredit, but their fellow Democrats throw them under a bus. Nancy Pelosi, immediate ethics investigation. And Harry Reid saying, I don't know how to defend him, etc. Steve Israel, Chuck Schumer, everybody talking about, I don't know about Weiner, good luck to him, man, I ain't got nothing to do with him. So now Republicans, of course, on the attack. Eric Cantor saying he should resign. Reince Priebus, the head of RNC, saying he should resign. And they're saying, oh yeah? Weiner gave $75,000 in the last election cycle to other Democrats, right? Now they all got to give that money back, otherwise they're tainted and they're getting their ads ready, right? And they're going to say, oh, Jim Jablowski took $1,000 from Anthony Weiner, the dirty, dirty perv who was sending out sex messages, right? And of course, what do Democrats do when they get hit with an ad like that? Oh, they run for the hills. They're gone, man. They're gonzo. So, with Democrats, of course, giving him no support whatsoever, it seems really hard to see how he would survive. And if he got past all of that, they're redistricting in New York and losing 2 districts. He's going to have no political support to hang on to his own district. So Anthony Weiner, in a world of trouble as far as his political career is concerned. I think I'm the only guy in the country rooting for him. So, and I'm standing right here, man. Win or lose, I think these sex scandals have absolutely nothing to do with their jobs as long as they don't break the law. Okay, now, to prove that I am serious when I say that these sex scandals, when it comes to Weiner or anybody else, don't have anything to do with their jobs, and I think they should keep their jobs. Remember what I said during Chris Lee's scandal. Remember, he's the guy in New York's 26th district that also took the shirtless picture and sent it on Craigslist, resigned immediately, and we had a good laugh over that because he had run on family values. Now, JR asked me at one point, hey, do you think he should step down over that? Well, we have the answer for you guys. This was my answer back then about a Republican. Let's watch.
But this guy's a dumbass. I mean, you can put this up online, and you're a United States congressman, and you think nobody's going to recognize you? Unbelievable.
So there's the question, Cenk. Where does he? Is this a type of offense where you resign over? I mean, I can see he's going to get an outcry, but does it make sense in the real realm of it all?
You know, that's a good question, JR. Look, I'm having fun, right? He's a Republican, Mr. Values, la la la, right? But anyway, should he have resigned over this? No. That's the ironic part. No.
All right, there you go. Consistent. And on Schwarzenegger, said the same thing. I said, look, I can't believe he had sex with the housekeeper and hid it this whole time, and he was a serial groper, etc. But I said, we knew that going in, and I don't think it had anything to do with the issues. And with Congressman Weiner, he fought for the 9/11 responders bill to make sure they got their health care. Now, if he was sending dirty pictures in the middle of that, so what? So what? What does that prove? Doesn't prove a damn thing. Look, I'm telling you, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, if you keep going after these sex scandals, you're going to find a scandal under every rock. I don't know about the women, but for the men, they're all in trouble. Those guys up in Washington, drunk on power, they haven't all hit on interns or sent these messages or done something wrong. Are you kidding me? And then we're going to say, oh, no, he's got to go, he's got to go. Did you know he also has a penis and tried to use it once? There's no end to this thing. I don't care about their private lives. Look, when JFK had endless mistresses, what I cared about was during the Cuban Missile Crisis, did we all blow up or did we not blow up? Did we have a nuclear war? Did we not have a nuclear war? I don't care if JFK got blown in the middle of it, okay? So I've been consistent on this, and I think Weiner should stay, and I don't think this sex scandal, on its merits has anything to do with how he conducted himself in office. I love the little clause that they have. They say, oh, no, according to House rules, you have to conduct yourself in a way that does not bring disrepute to the House. Is it possible to bring more disrepute into the House? They do that every single day in all their sellouts. I'm going to tell you a story about Evan Bayh. Of course, he was in the Senate a little later in the program. Okay, now, one more thing on Weiner. So now you've got all these women coming out and saying, oh, I was with Weiner. And none of them, by the way, were physically with him. They either talked to him on the phone or they did Facebook or Twitter messages, text messages, et cetera, right? So you got a blackjack dealer in Las Vegas, Lisa Weiss apparently, and on Radar Online, she has a number of messages she has released. I'm going to read you some of them. They're everywhere anyway. Weiner writes, whoa, super intense dream about you just now. Woke me up. She writes back, that's fucking awesome. Don't know you are still up, but we really need to discuss this further. That's the sweetest thing anyone has said to me in a while. Damn, you either went back to sleep or to work, saving the world. You see why I need your number when you leave me such good messages. Then Weiner responds, nope, not sweet, crazy dirty. Then she says, I know, I want all the dirty details. And then he says, baby, you have to post some fresh pictures. Now, why am I telling you this, okay? It's because I'm amazed at these women. Here's another woman, Megan Broussard, 26-year-old single mother from Texas. And she came out to ABC News, among others, and says, well, I just want to make sure, and by the way, ABC licensed those pictures, meaning bought them. I want to make sure that my image in my small hometown is protected. I didn't want somebody leaking my identity. Well, how did it help that you leaked your own identity and you went and talked to the press and you told them all the dirty things that Anthony Weiner, talked to you about, and you said, over here, I'm Melissa Broussard. Look at me, Daddy. Okay? And the same for the blackjack dealer, Lisa Weiss, putting out the dirty messages. And then they say, oh, I will look at this national attention. Golly gee willikers, where did it come from? I really didn't want it, but okay, I guess I have it. Am I famous yet? Look, man, did Weiner do a wrong thing here, given that he's married? Absolutely. By the way, if he wasn't married, there would be nothing wrong with what he did. He wants to hit on some girls, and they're into it, and they're sending dirty messages back and forth. That's called America, baby, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with it. So he's married, so you want to judge him morally, right? But these girls, they're totally willing participants. I just read you the message. They're like, oh, you're so dirty, you're so awesome. Oh, please, call me more, etc. And then when they get caught, when he gets caught, they're like, oh, I feel so hurt. I don't want people to see me in the wrong way. Where are the cameras? And then they go run for the cameras and they go run for the reporters. And by the way, these are supposed to be liberals who are fans of Anthony Weiner. It doesn't matter, man. When fame comes calling, everybody answers that call, okay? So if you're a famous guy and you think you're texting or something or sending pictures to a girl and she ain't saving it, you're nuts. Every single one of those girls is saving every single message you save them. So when you get busted, they can get famous. Just go ask Tiger Woods. Go ask Congressman Weiner. And you'll be able to ask a lot more because so many other guys have done this and are going to get caught going forward. And every one of those girls is going to come forward and pretend, oh gosh, golly gee willikers, I just wish I wasn't famous and caught up in all this, but what could I do? All right, that's enough on Weiner. When we come back, politics. Young Turks. All right, back on the Young Turks. I have several things to say. When we thank the members, we tell them what's coming in the postgame show, right? First of all, we have an awesome video today, right? Hate video, which is great. We always love the hate videos about us, okay? About Cenk or whatever, right? Number two, we're going to discuss Anthony Weiner's wife a little bit, okay? Do you know that in our little graphics there, we have Anthony Weiner's wife? Like among the, how many things it is, 20, 30 little pictures that we have that you see every day, one of them is Anthony Weiner's wife. Probably almost no one knows that, right?
Oh, wow.
You know why? Because I put her in my top 10 hottest women list, like from a couple of years ago. Okay? So we're going to look at some pictures and have a conversation about that, okay, in the postgame show as well. Now, so let me thank a couple of members. We're going to go with a couple of lieutenants who helped the show even more, and we do greatly appreciate it. Lieutenant Becky Dickerson. Now, I know we all have All-American names. There's no reason why Cenk Uygur isn't as All-American as Becky Dickerson. Nonetheless, Becky Dickerson. Wow, what a lovely All-American name. Okay. And then furthermore, Ken Mogul. Ken Mogul sounds like he's either a business mogul, like, oh, Ken Mogul, well, obviously he's very successful, or he is a Dothraki. Ken Mogul of the Dothrak tribe will cross the salted sea on the wooden horses. All right, anyway, this is my crazy imagination. Lieutenant Mogul, great to have you on board. And one other Facebook plug here. So I did this fun little thing, I think it was last weekend, when I put up this random picture that I had taken. Did you see this at all?
No.
On our Facebook page, facebook.com/TYT Nation. And I asked people, hey, what do you think it is? And the first person who got it right, I gave a TYT t-shirt to. Okay?
Oh, okay.
The most comfortable shirts in the world, the Young Turks t-shirts. Everybody knows this, right? And I've decided that I'm going to do it again, and I just want to kind of let people know. At some point this week on facebook.com/TYT Nation, I will be putting up another picture and having you guess what it is. But this one is both apparently dirtier and much more difficult. So it'll be a real challenge trying to figure out what it is.
Do you like zoom in on something and take like a little picture?
No, well, I mean, I guess I am zooming in on them, but they're so, like the first one was a little strange. The second one was really strange, and you're like, geez, Lord mercy, what is that? At least that's what I thought. And so fun little contests like that are happening on our Facebook page, among other things.
Our
right?
Facebook page is a lot of fun. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good endorsement.
No. I go on it all the time because people post like story ideas on there, or they share commentary. They tell me how much they love me and how awesome I am.
Yeah, no wonder Anna loves it. No, and by the way, I do check your story ideas on there too.
Yeah.
And one last thing about Facebook, Aaron, who is running the Facebook page, commander of the armies of the East, tells me every once in a while that we should do messages for Facebook into different languages. Okay. I'm not sure it makes sense, but I'd like to do one now. Can we do one? Just because it'll be fun. We did the Turkish video the other day. Oğlum, facebook.com/TYT Nation'e niye gelmiyorsun? Hadi çok çabuk gel. Saçmalama ya, orada çok eğleniyoruz, konuşuyoruz. Ben arada sırada orada yazıyorum. Senin yazdıklarını okuyorum. Gel ya, facebook.com/TYT Nation.
Great endorsement.
How's that? Huh?
That will either scare people away from the Facebook page, or a couple Turks might consider it.
And there was not even a single curse in there. First ever Turkish paragraph without a curse in it.
Wow.
Okay. All right, now we move forward.
All right. Switzerland is looking to regulate prostitution a little more. They're having an issue with having prostitution spread out in several different areas. And what they want to do is designate certain areas for prostitution, right? So what they're doing is they're choosing these designated areas and they're creating these things known as sex boxes.
Win.
So prostitutes basically solicit their services, and they have these nice little sex boxes to go to, conduct business, and then call it a day.
I like the part where they call it a day. They're like, I have now concluded my business in the sex box. I will be calling it a day. Okay.
No, but this is so incredible because I love what they're doing in Switzerland, okay? Instead of having it turn into a big problem where it's happening in areas, where it's happening in poor neighborhoods, right? Or where it's happening in areas where you're worried about the children, right? You can regulate it. You legalize it and you regulate it in a way that makes sense. You create the sex boxes so everyone knows. Sex boxes. Keep the children away if you're worried about it, right?
Watch out, because a sex box might suck them in like, oh no, it's a sex box! Well, it does suck men in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, no, seriously, I 100% agree with you. Okay, first of all, of course, it's what libs love, right? You got legal prostitution, you got regulation, right? And it's pro-sex. Okay, so now, having said all that, seriously, it makes a world of sense because, look, you don't want the prostitutes to go into any district you like. It's like zoning, right?
Right.
So like you want porn shops to, at least I want porn shops to be legal, right? But that doesn't mean you should have porn shops next to a residential area. You can have some sensible zoning laws. Now, a lot of times the zoning will become draconian and will be a way of actually pushing them out. But in this case, they are actually putting them in reasonable districts, it appears.
Yes.
Right? And so, and all the sex box is it's a little area where they conduct their business, large enough apparently to, show their wares and then conduct the business afterwards if the wares were interesting enough.
And don't get it wrong, like these sex boxes, they sound like they're a little swanky, okay? Because they're creating 10 of them, and it costs a whopping $2.8 million to create them build them. So it's not like they're just creating like cardboard boxes, in some random neighborhood somewhere and having prostitutes conduct their business there. They're having it, a nice, safe place for them to do what they're doing. And another reason why Switzerland is trying to regulate this heavily is because they want to make sure that there's no spread of STDs and, sexually transmitted diseases. And I think it's a good idea. It's a good way to make sure that people are safe and they have a safe place to do this in and that women aren't getting beat or harmed in the process.
Right. So a safe outlet gives you freedom of choice to either engage in that or not engage in that. And it doesn't get in the way of anything else. It's wins all around. And these sound like the most lovely sex boxes you've ever seen. Sex boxes for hookers.
$2.8 million sex houses.
Have you ever heard anything more logical? All right.
All right. The Dutch cabinet is trying to ban foreigners from obtaining marijuana in the Netherlands.
Unacceptable.
Which is such a bad idea. I don't get it. Why would you do that? Especially to Amsterdam. Tourism would be done in Amsterdam.
There's some chance that people go to Amsterdam not just to get high, but it's a small chance.
I'd say 90% go there. And that's a rough number, but I think it's fairly accurate.
You know.
No, but let's keep it real. A lot of people, like, the appeal of Amsterdam isn't just the pot, but it's like that anything goes atmosphere. You know, you have the sex workers, displaying themselves in the glass. You have the coffee shops where you can either hit a bong or have a lovely joint. I don't know. It's just that atmosphere. And why would you want to ruin that?
And I actually think they have a good balance, because I think Amsterdam seems like a safer, less seedy version of Vegas, right?
Vegas isn't seedy.
Oh, come on, keep it real, okay? So I think that they have the right balance going. Why screw with that balance? And of course, the people who don't like this are the people in Amsterdam, because the tourism industry would get hurt, and they're telling the rest of the Netherlands, are you nuts? No, we don't want this. This is crazy talk. Our businesses don't want it. Our citizens within the city don't want it. And we like this attitude and image for Amsterdam, and obviously I'm with them.
I agree. Also, the Dutch politicians, one of them was quoted in this article, and I found his quote amusing. He says, after all, many of them can use the legal markets available in their immediate surroundings anyway.
Right.
Which is true, which is what we do anyway. But I'm not saying it's true they should ban foreigners from using marijuana, but it's true that we use marijuana here too. We just do it illegally, regardless of what the laws are. So we should just legalize marijuana.
You know, one other thing that I like there is one of the people on the side of keeping the pot in Amsterdam to be able to be sold to anybody, I should say. He said, look, if you make it illegal for the foreigners, what's going to happen? They're going to start selling the pot illegally in the streets.
Exactly.
And that's 100% true. There's no way that isn't going to happen, because people are going to go to smoke in Amsterdam. They're not going to know, right? And then when they show up and they say, oh, you can't buy the pot, they're going to try to find the pot somewhere else.
Of course.
And are they going to be able to get it illegally in the street? Of course. So then you've recreated the problem in the first place.
Here's one thing that I noticed when I went to Amsterdam. As far as I know, things like ecstasy, heroin, those kinds of drugs are not legal, right? They don't sell them in the coffee shops, just marijuana. And when I was walking through, the little alleyways and walking past all the different shops, you have several people come up to you and offer you all sorts of drugs, whether it's ecstasy, heroin, whatever, acid, cocaine. They offer it all. And, they can do that because, well, they can't do that. It's illegal. But they're going to do it anyway. They're not going to care. And the same thing's going to happen with marijuana. So your point is absolutely right about that.
One last thing. I think there are different laws as to where those drugs are legal in Netherlands. But so you can't just get it in the street. But I think there are places in Amsterdam where you can get it. Mm-hmm. It's just you have to go in a certain place. Because I know we did the story about how heroin is legal in Netherlands, and the use has dropped significantly since they made it legal. Mm-hmm. But I think you have to go to a specific designated place to take it.
Oh, okay.
Right. All right. Oh, we're out of time.
We're out of time.
Sad day. Okay. Hate video against us in the postgame. Discussion of Anthony Weiner's wife and that situation. Hey, look, what I'm going to add is a little controversy to that, because there are some rumors that I don't want to share in public. We're going to show you why I think the rumors are wrong, right? But anyway, I've said too much. If you remember, come join that discussion.